Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today we are going to talk about the Renown from the raid. I usually focus more on subjective rogue content, but I think this is quite important, not only because you are going to get power-ups and things, but for example, in the last raid we have this trinket called the Treacherous Transmitter, that is likely that we still use it unless they nerf it, of course. You know, our cooldown cadence is 1 minute and 30 seconds, and there are kind of none of the good trinkets with that timing, let's say. But apart from that, you are going to get like the finery that we are getting right now in the Neruk R Palace that increases our damage and healing across the time. It did take some weeks to begin, but this time it will begin from week 0. Of course, the throughput itself will begin a bit later in week 4, but if you want, you can read this. It's kind of saying that you don't really need to clear all of the raid to get the full renown, and it will be stuck at 1 renown per week. It will mean that you begin on renown 1, and on week 1 you can get to renown 2, etc. etc. So it begins, and now renown 1 is when you end the quest line, etc. And you get some tables, vendors, and a crafting order person, so you can craft order like something like an embellishment item or something if you want inside of the raid. Renown 2, the one that you will get on week 1, the HC week, let's say, we call it now, will make it so sometimes it drops augment runes and you also eat faster. This means that instead of getting 10 seconds to get your well-fed buff, it will take 5 seconds, and also the mana regeneration, etc., will be faster. This will make it wide recovery quite good. The Renown 3 is whatever. You have a transmog and an item upgrade vendor like you had in Averus and other raids, where you had an upgrade vendor inside of the raid that was quite useful. You could get an upgrade and then go there and spend your crests, flight stones, or in this case, stones from this expansion. Now, Renown 4 is where the damage and throughput from healing increases. Renown 4 is week 3, more or less. Most of the high-end guilds have already killed the bosses, and the mid-core guilds like mine are going to begin being in the mid-core bosses, somewhere like that, maybe 4th, 5th boss like that. 3% is never bad, and you also get a rewards card. It's kind of like a mini Hearthstone that you can use to get to the main hub, and you can that way you can get upgrades or crafting, etc, etc. Renown 5, this is nothing crazy. You get like a mob to remove the Satan debuff, quite useful if you don't have hunters or rogues or mages that can reset the boss. You can use this new NPC. And there's also some hammers to get repairs. Of course, these are not intended, and there are not that many inside of the raid. 6, out of combat movement speed, never back, and you get kind of like a pylon from BFA that could rest you. It also on a kind of long cooldown. This is for like when you miss your rest on a healer while you are wiping or a soulstone. You have this kind of 30 minutes to a 1 hour. I don't know which one it will be that they choose to use the wide recovery tool. And Renown 7 on the 6th week, of course, is when you are going to get a little bit more of a renown, and you get a right skip to the 7th to bosses C 7th and 8th. Right skips were gotten before by getting like some quest items and completing some quests, but now it will see that you need to be this renown in this case. Now, this is also with renown 8 that you can use the same NPC to travel between bosses defeated. Kind of good, like PTR, the cow teleported that you use. And it's only necessary if you want to skip the early bosses while alive. Renown 9, this will sell you some pets and things like that. Mecha Gorilla, Mecha Sour. They're kind of cool. And 9, let's say, well, 10, sorry. 9% now. 11, you get movement speed extra one, and also you will get some extra transmog color for the weapons. And now this 12 is some extra throughput. Again, this gets you like some damage proc, let's say like you had in Legion the Corcor Dance or something like that. An extra thing that works inside of the raid. 13, more throughput. Then you get a busted dispenser, so you get more runes. This, of course, 15 is the one that has like extra cool transmog things, and they can drop as personal loot, like Dice Chalak or things like that that could be happening. 16, you get that 15% buff, and then in the 17, you get something like if you played last season of Shadowlands or Dragonflight, you will be able to get, let's say, a curio. The curio means that you can trade for one weapon, trinket, or a special item, and then this item has like a full on track upgrade. Like it can go from looking for raid or normal. In this case, I think it goes better from normal to mythic. Of course, you can upgrade if you have the crests needed. You at this time, the week 17, it's likely that you have enough crests to have all of these upgrades ready if you want. And it can be upgraded by anyone that reaches this point and is not locked to any difficulties. Sometimes you need it in Shadowlands to get the upgrade token to upgrade this to Mythic or to Heroic or whatever it has. Now there's no need. And now, of course, this is extra throughput. And then the last one is the title, and then you get a teleport to the entrance and some cool thing to the Furious Flarendo mount, the Mechasaur. It's a really cool mount. You will see it eventually. I don't want to make this longer. I just wanted to say that it is very good that they do this, mainly the week 17, because there are some people that are quite unlucky and you don't really want to, because even across time, guilds that are like rank 400 or 500 something like that sometimes miss their like strongest cooldowns on some people because they begin extending. So as you know, if you extend the rate, you can keep getting tries on the boss, but you are not going to get loot from any of the earlier bosses. So sometimes some people could not get loot. For example, in this raid tier, the very strong item from Court, the Spice Masters. There are still people in my guild. We have killed the Queen already, like some time ago, that don't have a mythic version of this item, or maybe even heroic. I do know that everyone has heroic, I think, but some people may not have that, or they want an alt or something like that. And this also catapults if you are able to get these crests, also when they uncap them, or even when they are capped, if you already have all of your crafted items, and the mythic track items that you want to upgrade at are not as is impactful as getting this item, you can use the crest for that. Have a nice day, and I will see you on the next video.